all things that we are going through basically. So see here on this Word file where content are in detail. So you can see that very first of all, we will be starting with Docker from the scratch, right? What exactly Docker is, why it is required, what it does, how we got it, and everything. Look into it. Okay. And what all competitors of Docker currently is available in market, and most probably while working with Kubernetes, what all another containerization tool that you will be looking at. So Docker is the main that we will be focusing very first of all because all other are similar to Docker, right? And we will be installing Docker engine on Ubuntu or some CentOS and Linux machines, right? And what is the Linux architecture, we'll be looking into it, and basic introduction of Docker engine. We'll be comparing it with how it is different with the virtual machines and how we used to do deployment before virtual machine as well, traditional deployment on on-premises servers, and few basic command like version check of your Docker and create the container, pulling the images and logging it into the containers. And when it comes to its architecture, we will be looking into Docker daemon, what is Docker client, Docker registry, what all Docker objects we have, like images, containers, networking, and services, right? So underlying Docker technology, this thing will be theoretical covered, like how Docker is creating container in a different way as compared to virtual machine. What exactly that we contains in VM and what all things we will be having inside the container. How containers are different with VM here at the point, and what exactly Docker images are, how to store images on registries like Docker Hub or GitHub, how to push images or pull images from these registries, right? And different type of containers we will be exploring, like application container and OS based container, correct? And simple application deployment and networking. In network we will be looking into what type of different type of networks are available inside container: host, bridge, null, overlays, no more. And how to enable communication in between multiple containers, how containers are being accessed from outside of the server. Those things we'll be exploring. After that, we will be looking into this topic called, Docker storage or Docker volume. What all type of volume we have to persist the data inside the container, right? And containers are ephemeral. Means once your container is deleted and you didn't use any type of volume to persist your data, so your data cannot be recovered back after deletion of container. Backup of the images, restore of the images, right? Convert image to a file or running container to image and then file and then back file to image format. Those things we will be exploring in very detail, and building custom images by writing Docker file. What all the methods we have to write Docker file, and how we can secure our Docker images, that we will be looking into, right? Again, repetitive content. Docker Compose, we will be looking into it, how Compose will help us to build Docker images and run multiple container at the same time, how it is helping developers to test their application from image build to container creation at a single command that we can do through Docker Compose. We will be deploying some simple application where, like, front end, back end will be communicating, right, through Docker Compose as well. Now, after that, guys, we will be starting with Kubernetes. This is something very important, and 95% course of this all things will be practical lab. Theoretical will be there, but very less as per the requirement only, right? And we will be learning about Kubernetes, what all its architecture, sorry, what is the architecture of Kubernetes, what all component that Kubernetes is having to, run your cluster, right? We will be forming a Kubernetes cluster on AWS basically, and We will be looking into, Cube ADM cluster that can be created through Kind or AWS we will be creating, right? So you don't need to bother, like, we are having different variants of Kubernetes available with us. What all those different variants are available of Kubernetes? Let me describe. So see here, we are having Amazon EKS, Elastic Kubernetes Service. We are having Azure AKS, Azure Kubernetes Service, and GCP, which is Google Cloud, GCP, GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine. Okay. So you no need to worry about it. Like, we are having this many type of Kubernetes variant. Which one will have to learn? Okay. You no need to bother about these things, including one more is there, OpenShift. Okay, which is the product of Red Hat. Let me even name it Red Hat. So you don't need to bother that which one to choose. Okay, Kubernetes is having lots of things with it, like pod and deployment and many objects. Whatever things that we will be going through in our training session, that applies same on all these type of Kubernetes variant. No differences will be there. While creation of pod or deployments or something, a secret or config map, right? Config map and many more. These are the few. All those things will be same on these type of Kubernetes variant. Differences that you will be seeing is cluster creation while logging in into these cloud and cluster management. That is the simple thing. Two topics only that will not be covered, like cluster creation on this is cloud, and rest of the thing will be same. I believe that you can follow the documentation provided by these cloud provider. You can create the cluster. That is GUI only, graphical user interface. Click here and there, your cluster will be created. Correct. So this difference will be there. Rest of the thing will be the same, and our main focus will be on certification and working on the project or your corporate environment, right? Uh, Enterprise level of work, day-to-day activity, how you will be performing deployment and what all things that you will be doing on your day-to-day task. This is the main focus here, to complete the certificate or to survive in projects, right? Now, we will be taking one of the architecture, we will be taking, we will be creating Kubernetes cluster with this one master node and two worker node, and we'll be learning about pod object, what exactly pod is, pod with single container or multi-container, pod, static pod, and how to enable communication in between pods or containers, right? Whenever I'm saying that communication in between container means I'm talking about a pod which contains two containers in it, how they will communicate. And pod to pod communication means a pod which is running in different node or even same node, how to enable communication between them, and that also we will be looking into it. What exactly static pod deployment is, how to allocate or limit CPU memory on each of the container, that we will be looking into it. Replication controller, what exactly it is, this will be helping us to replicate our multiple containers, right? So that we can achieve highly availability, how to create replication control and their pods, and auto scaling, not auto scaling exactly, manually scaling happens on this replication controller, that we'll be looking on that, right? And after that, we will be learning about replica set, what is the replica set, how it is different with the replication controller, and then we'll be looking into deployment. Basically, deployment is the main object these days, and if you want to explore it more, so replication controller came very first of all as an improved version of replication controller was replica set, and replica set's improved version is deployment. So deployment will be there to perform rolling updates, and to manage the deployment within Kubernetes cluster to achieve highly availability. That we will be looking into it, right? And what all advantages that we have with deployment that we will be exploring it about. Auto scaling is a feature that is for deployment. How to implement auto scaling or auto scaling basically. If somehow I started getting more requests towards my deployments, right? I'm having a few number of pods. Now, how we can deal with this situation to implement HPA, horizontal pod autoscaler, so that we can have much more containers on our environment and all the requests can be fulfilled. Once lots of requests that we got, if it is going down through threshold, then it will be removing additionally created pods. How it happens, that will be implementing practically. Daemon set is an object in Kubernetes that helps you to deploy logging and monitoring application. You know, it will be placing pod on each of the node. You wanted to define number of replicas. Based on number of nodes, it will create pod in each of the node. Right? Stateful set is it is like very important topic for interview purposes. What happens is in stateful set basically if you want to implement a MySQL cluster or any database cluster or Hashik or Vault cluster inside Kubernetes means cluster inside cluster, right? So this stateful set gonna help you to do this kind of things, right? It is uh, it is much more better uh, than deployment while working with nested clusters, right? So stateful set comes up with a feature called volume claim templates, and it will be having static name for each of the pods, and you can reach it out to a specific pod that is not possible in deployment. In deployment, whenever you are accessing your application, so requests will be forwarded to random pod, basically, not port, random pod, and that pod will be serving the request. If you are thinking that I'm having 10 pods and I want to specifically reach it out to pod number 5, that will not allow. But in a stateful set, it is allowed. How we will be implementing this practical way. Okay, different type of volumes are available in Kubernetes. You can see over here, we are having ephemeral volume and persistent volumes. Ephemeral volumes are like something temporary volumes to share a data in between containers while being in a same pod by using empty directory. Host path volume is there to access your node's data inside your container. This is something very important. you know Static volume provisioning, what exactly static volume provisioning is, what exactly dynamic volume provisioning is, right? How it works, what exactly a persistent volume and persistent volume claim is, how storage class is different as compared to PVPVC thing, right? How it is working with directly these objects like PVPVC, right? So that will be a deep dive. We will be learning about this services. We are having different type of services in Kubernetes. Basically, if you want to communicate from one pod to another pod, then cluster IP will be used. If you want to access your application without provisioning load balancer, then Nodepod will be helping you. It is having few drawbacks, and then load balancer service. How to create load balancers on your cloud through this load balancer service, that will be looking into this one. When to use which service, which is more beneficial, that will be implemented or explored practically. Now, when it comes to secret and password management and configurations management in Kubernetes, how it happens, by the way. So see here, sensitive data managed. We can manage into Kubernetes by using this secret object, right? How to store secret in environment variables or in files. Whenever we are referring to a file, means we are talking about some of the certificates. how to manage them, how to store it in environment variable on files, that will be explored. Now, config map and secret both are similar things. Like in configuration, if you want to store some of the environment variable information or environment variables key value in your deployments, or how you can reuse it, or else you can say that I'm having some of the configuration file based on my different type of environment, so how to modify those configurations while running Docker images inside your container. So config map is something that gonna help you out. Now we just discussed about this three type of services here, right? Now similar to that, we are having one of the ingress controller with us. How to access your application through domain names like anish.com or google.com. How this application will be accessible through domain name? So it is possible through ingress controllers. We will be deploying nginx ingress controller on our Kubernetes cluster. By creating virtual domains, we'll try to access our applications. Okay. And how to check health of your containers. This is something important to achieve highly availability. If somehow container is not responding, so what type of probe we'll have to perform to recreate the container, and what type of probes we have based on the port number, based on the URL, or based on some of the command execution, which one we'll have to use in some of the cases. Those cases will be discussed. And scheduling, this is something dedicated topic that we will be talking about. These were the health check, liveness and readiness. And scheduling, how to schedule a pod on a specific node based on the node name, based on node selector, pod affinity, anti affinity, node affinity, anti affinity, and taint and tolerations. Okay, taint and toleration is not mentioned. We can add TAI, taint tolerations. Okay, taint and toleration will be covered here. These are the topics which is really very helpful, or these topics will be asked on each and every interview if you are going to attend any kind of Kubernetes related interviews. Now guys, we are having one more another topic which is really important for administrators. If you are planning, or you are already working in cloud, or you are a cloud architect, or your job role is to manage the clusters or environment, then this thing is something very important. How to perform RBAC? RBAC is nothing but a role-based access control. Let's say in our team, 5 to 10 members are working. Each member will have their own, job role and responsibility, right? So few of them might be auditor, few of them might be developers, or few of them might be taking care of multiple type of deployment. So based on their role, how you will be providing them cluster access. Auditors need only read-only permissions, and developers need application cluster access for their own application, means namespace based access. And a few of the people who are managing or taking care of the deployment, like team leads or managers, they need to have complete cluster access. So how to implement the role binding, cluster role, and cluster role binding, so those things we will be looking into it. Apart from this, which is not mentioned on this course content, I will be adding few more things in our course, like ELK stack, ELK, Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. Elastic search, log, stash, Kibana. Okay, this will be looking, we'll be looking into this one. And Prometheus, Prometheus and Grafana, we will be doing that one as well. And what else? See, this Prometheus, Grafana, and ELK thing is introductory part only. But here one more topic that I just want to add here is that will be in more detail. Helm charts. Okay, Helm charts. Helm, see, Helm charts will be in more detail. We will be converting our existing YAML into Helm chart. Okay. And again, introductory part of Argo CV. This will be added on the course. So this four things that we will be covering, guys. But these will not be super deep dive. Okay. It will be there. At least that you can work on your project, whatever task you are getting, that you can do that, I believe. Okay. So this was the thing, guys, all about course content. If you guys are having any question queries regarding this, you can ask me now. Regarding the course, any question queries, guys? No, Ashok,
Yes, good
Shubham,
morning.
Suyog,
Uh,
Moses. Yeah, we should be like, communicate. And I believe that if you guys are having any question queries, not now, but even in a training session, I will be keep asking you. And my suggestion for you is like, um, be interactive because we are learning here. We are not doing any interview or something like that. Um, and like, how we will be helping you to learn and understand the things. Basically, this will be 1.5 hour training session per day. Let's assume that out of this training hours, you are facing issues and difficulty. How we are going to help you? We will be creating one of WhatsApp group. On that WhatsApp group, you will be added. Whenever you are doing practice, if you faces any issues, you can post your issue over there on WhatsApp group. I will help you. Okay. I will be available sometimes if I'm traveling or driving or something, or some in meet. If I'm some in meeting, so that time you might face delay 1 hour something, but most probably I replies quickly only. And these are the thing. And my suggestion for you is if we are doing batches or session per day basis, so after session you need to take time for yourself so that you can practice. Why I'm saying that time for yourself? Because you are improving your skills. If this skill is added on your knowledge or your experience, that can help you to grow. First thing. Second thing is that how what is the market these days says about Docker and Kubernetes. We all know DevOps is growing very fastly, and this is highly demanded subject or technology in market. You can just search on Naukri portals, right? Resources are less, less, and requirement are huge. Okay, so if you are doing certificate, this definitely gonna help you out. After completion of this course, what all certificate, guys, you can go for? I will suggest you few certificates of Kubernetes. Very first certificate that I'm talking about is CKA. CKA, when to choose this certificate if you are a cloud architect or your job role is something related to manage the environment and all, then CKA is for you. Whenever you are mentioning CKA on your resume, 100% recruiter gonna call you. Okay, because this certificate cannot be cleared super easily. Now, another certificate is CKAD. Okay, Certified Kubernetes Application Developer. This certificate is having this developer or development word added in it, but in reality it is not uh, uh, really you will be going or developing something over there. Let me show you the content even. There is one company called organization called CNCF, Cloud Native Computing Foundation. These people are designing training contents for their certificates. See this one. You go for certification, scroll it down here, see this CKA. I'm just opening it on new tab. Okay, it came here, CKA information. If you go here, so these people are talking about, see that cluster architecture, cluster installation configuration part, 25% is the weightage. Workload scheduling is 15%. Means like deployment creation related to deployment thing. networking and services 20%, storage related things will be 10%. Most of the time, you guys will be doing troubleshooting, cluster troubleshooting, if anything goes wrong or something goes fail in the cluster. So this is all about CKA. But if you will look into CKAD, go to CKAD information. So they are not developing some application or something, but this is designed for application developers. That's the reason their name is look like this. So you will be containerizing application by writing Docker file. You will keep deploying those application on your cluster. Application observability, application maintenance, related things will be there. Again, application environment configuration, security, and networking and services thing. So all the things related to Kubernetes only that we are going through our course content. So this is something about course content, not exactly, but domain or topics highlighted over here. Now, which certificate you can go for after completion of this training? You know, after completion of this training, you can go for any one of them, CKA or CKAD. I covered 95% content from both the courses into a single one. This is a combo. Basically, you can say that this course is a combo of CKA and CKD. You no need to go for separate courses. Everything is on the same place. Based on your choice, you can choose it. Which one to go? CKA is a bit difficult and CKAD is the easy certificate. Okay. Now, if you are mentioning or you are working mainly application deployment, application observability, or something, all tasks you are handling since beginning of your career related to application, then this should be the choice, right? If you are more on cloud architect or something, environment management or infra side, then you should go for. There are few more certificates are available related to Kubernetes. Certified Kubernetes Security Specialist, it is something else. You cannot directly go for this certificate because the prerequisite for the certificate is CKA. You should have this certificate, then only you can go for this security specialist thing. I believe as if now it is not required. If you are from DevSecOps, okay, and you are vulnerability tester or something like that, so then I'll suggest you prepare for CKA first, and then you should go for this one. There are two more, this cloud native Kubernetes and cloud native associate, KCNA, and Kubernetes and cloud security associate. These are MCQs. These are garbage. I'm saying garbage because it will not be adding much value on your resume as compared to CKA or CKD or CKS. Okay, these are just MCQs. And what about these three courses? Is these are practical and scenario based. Lab will be there. They will give you some of the lab based on the scenario. You'll have to create deployment or troubleshoot the issues. Generally, this guy Linux Foundation people are taking your exam. Okay, these people are taking the exam for CKA or CKS or CKAD, all the Kubernetes certificate. These people are taking it now. And let me show you something. Catalog, certificate catalog. Hmm. CKA for an example. Here it is. So guys, this certificate worth 395 USD. Okay, but few last week only we got 50% off. There some offers are running. Even for New Year will be something there. If you are interested, you can purchase this voucher, and within a year you can appear in the examination. So this examination includes the thing like it is online exam, 2 hour exam. Its certificate validity is for 2 years, and once you are purchasing this voucher, so within 12 months you can appear in this exam. If you are failing in exam, one retake will be there. PDF badge will be issued to you, and the version of Kubernetes will be 1.31. It is performance based exam. As I said that in examination, proctor will be there, and some of the questions will be on your screen that you'll have to work on it. You'll have to troubleshoot the issues on live clusters. It is not like something multiple choice question something. It's not like that. So KCA is something multi choice questions, and you can complete that. I think easily. This will be the easy certificate KCA. Let's
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So, how to pass this examination, guys? This should be the question. Personally, I cleared these two examinations, CKA and CKS. So, exam simulator is something very important. Two times you can access simulator for 24 hours. Two times you can access it. It feels, it will make you feel like you are in a real exam, but that will be the dummy exam, and that will be the tough. Their question will be more tough, and if you are passing this simulator exam, trust me, you can clear a real exam as well. If you need dumps, I can help you on that part as well. Free of cost, I can give you dump. But the problem is that we should not rely on the dump very first. These versions are keep changing. I might have older version and you might not be seeing same questions again. Or probably you can see the same question in examination, but not sure, right? So we should prepare by our own each and everything. How to prepare, what all things to learn and do, right? I'm here, I'm guiding you on that part. Okay. So guys, that's all about this course and all. Basically, we'll have to start with Docker, and 15 minutes are left that I'm not thinking that is enough for me to introduce you Docker actually. So what we'll do is we will be planning or we'll be starting session from Tuesday. Then we will be going in the same flow, right? Let's see the price and all for CK as well. I think we should KC and you are targeting for this one, right? KC. Is there any offer for that? Hmm. See, this is the one, right? Its price is 250 USD, and some offers was there that you can go with that. See, multi-choice exam, multiple choice exam. If you're failing it, one retake will be there.